Hello, my name is Suresh Kochatil, and today we're going to speak about the subject of union budget. Yes, the budget always has an aura around it. The people keep talking, the experts keep talking, the ministers keep talking, and everybody expects the budget to come like a big bang out there. But what is the union budget all about? It is basically a statement of income and expenditure and plans for the next year, that is the next financial year, that the government proposes. Of course, it's not as simple as that. But definitely the man on the street, the industrialist, the homemakers, the daily wage workers, everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants the budget to do something for them. We at Hybris TV have tried to capture the moods of people and the wants and the requirements, their dreams and their aspirations from the Union Budget 2020.
The big expectation we all have about the budget is the economy has to be getting kick-started. The two big asks that we have is that there should be more amount of money in the hands of the consumer. That will come through two things. One is rationalization of our tax structure. The second one is bringing down the GST. If both could happen, there will be more amount of cash in the hands of consumer, and that will definitely create more amount of demand. The second thing that we see is that there's a fairly serious challenge in terms of breaking up of the complete chain of lending. The NBFCs have created a major challenge, but at the same time, the government has to intervene at this point of time to ensure that there is enough of credit available to the consumers. These are the big expectations I have from the budget.
I am very keen to understand how the budget is going to pan out. Couple of things that I expect. One is, I think very clearly we need the income in hand for the middle class to go up, and that has to drive the consumption. So tax benefit for the middle class certainly would be on top of the list. As a healthcare person, I will certainly look at how we can reward the preventive health behavior. We have already created provision for a certain amount for preventive health checks on a yearly basis, but I think more needs to be done. The second thing is focusing on the early elderly people, not the old, just the old, but the early elderly people, on how we can create provisions for them to save more and more by innovative means so that they can handle their growing age in a more comfortable manner by having little better savings in their hand. So rewarding, creating provision for the elderly guys. And the third thing would be, can we create provisions somewhere to reward good behavior and good lifestyle and punish the bad lifestyle? This would be some of the important things that would be on my agenda.
My name is Tanuja and I'm a CEO. I'm running a startup. I work in the diversity and inclusion space. My company is called Beyond Pinks. From the budget, I have a lot of expectations on two fronts. Being a startup, I expect a lot of tax rebates and more ease of doing business while we enter the next year of budgets. More tax-friendly policies for startups, and being a woman, I expect more friendlier, comfortable, ease to do business policies for women especially, and not just for women in the urban area, for rural area. There could be special schemes that could be looked at, there could be special grants. And as an entrepreneur and especially working in the social sector, I'm expecting some kind of rebates, taxation relaxations to come in this year for women and for the startups basically.
I'm Dr. Nandita Sethi, Chairperson, IWIN, CII. We're just celebrating 125 years of CII, and IWIN of course is started in 2013, so we are 7 years old. But in these 7 years, we have been focusing on how to improve women, their careers, how they can improve on and take on bigger roles, higher roles in society, in their workplace. We have been helping women entrepreneurs And we have been helping in 3 areas. We have been helping in health and well-being, we have been helping in education and leadership, and we are also helping government in policy making for women. So this has been the basic area of our role over the last couple of years, where we are trying to see that women remain in the workforce, they continue to grow in the workforce and take on leadership positions where they are in a situation where they can actually take a lot of policy making for women. So that has been our role in Indian Women Network of CII.
I'm S.N. Panigrahi from S&P Business Solutions. I'm a GST consultant and project management consultant. My expectation from the budget is not to everybody like asking reduce the tax rates and all thing, but my opinion is not for the tax rate reduction, but make the compliance very simple and every person can understand the law and comply with the law. That is my opinion. Not instead of reducing the taxes, it will not help. And in fact, GST reduction will help mostly for the importers. Therefore, Swadeshi concept will die out. So my opinion is not to reduce any taxes, but restrict the import for the non-essential items, and in fact make the law very simple and everybody can understand like.
We are all having very high expectations on the upcoming budget. We are hoping that a lot of incentives will be pushed by both the central government and the state government, especially to the SME sector, because that is where it is the backbone of the Indian industry. And incentivizing especially the small and medium players will actually kickstart the economy. It will increase spending among the general economy, and this will again lead to better outcomes for industry, whether it is large or from the SME sector. The other area that industries are looking at is more transparency, better governance, and areas which will actually help to thrive the Indian corporates to play much better roles in global arena.
See, this budget, we have lots of expectations because the economy was really going down and going through lots of stress. But what we expect is definitely something like demand to be increased. For the demand to be increased, we have from CA also, we have suggested few things to the government, and we are expecting some of that could come on first. In order to increase the demand, we need to increase the consumption. If consumption has to increase, then the people should have that sparable money. So we told that the personal income tax, which is there, has to be relooked in bringing it down, so that people will have sufficient money to spend. That is the way it creates. And infrastructure spending also should be made, and good capex must be done, and government must increase the true availability of the money for credits and all that, because that credit growth is not there. If credit growth is not there, then there is a problem, and the government also must solve the problem of NBFCs. But that is where actually we call it as a last mile lending. That is not happening. So if that NBFCs are made active, and by providing some good support with good controls, of course, then the people will like to take the faster loans and spend. And if they spend, then we'll be able to produce more also. So I think these are the things that we are expecting. And another thing is the agri-economy. That is also very important. Okay, so in order to see that the agricultural economy improves, so they must provide some kind of a good incentives and the help food processing related industries by which agricultural people can do that one a better thing. And another thing we have also told is about the housing. If real estate and construction industry, because a lot of stalled projects are there. So if that amount that is given to the proper stalled projects, then it creates lots of jobs and all that. So job creation also will be there. It will reduce unemployment. So overall, we are seeing that India is a great country, and it was always growing at 7, 6, 7, 8% like that. So I'm sure that the government will take strong measures to see that this further decline, it will not happen. So we are overall, I think it is only 2-3 days is left out now. Let us see. I'm sure that Honorable Prime Minister will come out with some good budget and encouraging budget for both society as well as the industry.
Today, everybody saying that demand has to improve. Even government of India also realized there has to be demand, and industries are also recognize there is the demand has to be there for residential and commercial also. Even people are also expecting that some incentives from government of India, state government also. So for demand side మనము ఇంప్రూవ్ చేయాలంటే మనకు ఈ గవర్నమెంట్ ఈ యొక్క బడ్జెట్లో రొటీన్గా మనం ఎవరైనా సాలరీ పీపుల్ కానీ ఎవరైనా హోమ్ కొనాలనుకునేది ఫస్ట్ డిమాండ్ ఏంటంటే స్టాండర్డ్ డిడక్షన్స్లో ఏదైతే హోమ్ లోన్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు, ఎందుకంటే అందరూ హోమ్ లోన్ తీసుకుని కొనుక్కుంటున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు ఇంతకుముందు గతంలో ఫ్యాగ్ ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది సర్వీస్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇల్లు కట్టుకునే వాళ్ళు, ఇల్లు కొనుక్కునేవాళ్ళు. ఇప్పుడు లాస్ట్ 2 decades అంటే ఎవరైనా జాబ్లో చేరంగానే ఒక 6 నెలల లోపల, సంవత్సరం లోపల ఇల్లు కొనుక్కోవాలా, ఫ్యూచర్ ఎర్నింగ్స్ తోటి మనం కొనుక్కోవాలా, రెంట్ కట్టే ఇల్లు కొనుక్కోవాలనేది ఇప్పుడు అందరి యొక్క దట్ ఈస్ ది వే ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ నౌ. సో ఇప్పుడు సో ఎవ్రీబడి ఈజ్ లుకింగ్ ఫర్ some incentives, standard deductions. So the primarily the whatever the principal amount we are paying and also the interest component, that limits has to increase. That is the first demand of every budget. So we hope this government in this budget definitely will increase these limits. That will definitely encourage people to go for a housing or also second house also. Then there is a scheme from the government of India for the tax exemption to the builder under section 80 IBA. So that limit for the housing dwelling unit that has to be increased to 65 lakhs. That is one demand. And it is also the scheme is getting lapsed in April 2020. We request to extend up to the March 2022. So this is a genuine demand because now people are taking up this scheme in a big way. Because of PMAY scheme and other incentives they are taking up. So this is a good scheme. It has to, if they extend it, then more and more people take affordable housing. Then another demand is, see, banks are not in a position to fund this sector in a big way. We are looking also alternate investments. Now for long-term capital gain, there is a tax of 20% for if you retain 24 months. So the industry, the request is, if it should be brought down to 10% tax, and the period also, holding period also should be 12 months. సో కొంత అమౌంట్ స్టాక్ మార్కెట్ వైజ్ కూడా రియల్ ఎస్టేట్కు రావడానికి ఆస్కారం ఉంటుంది. సో ఆల్టర్నేట్ ఫండింగ్ కూడా అవసరం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి దిస్ ఆల్సో వన్ రిక్వెస్ట్. అండ్ డీమ్డ్ ట్యాక్సబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ అన్సోల్డ్ స్టాక్స్ మీద కూడా గతంలో ఈ డెవలపర్స్ అమ్మకుండా కొంత పెట్టుకొని స్పెక్యులేట్ చేస్తున్న ఉద్దేశంతో ఈ ట్యాక్స్ తీసుకురావడం జరిగింది. కానీ ఇప్పుడు అమ్ముడు పోవట్లేదు స్టాక్ కూడా. చాలా మేజర్ నగరాల్లో కూడా మనకు స్టాక్ అమ్ముడు పోవట్లేదు. హ్యూజ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లాస్ అవుతుంది డెవలపర్కు, కాస్ట్ పెరిగిపోతుంది అల్టిమేట్గా బయర్ మీద. కాబట్టి ఈ యొక్క ట్యాక్స్ విత్డ్రా చేసుకోవాలనేది కూడా మేజర్ డిమాండ్గా ఉన్నది. జిఎస్టీ పరంగా చూస్తే ఈ యొక్క జాయింట్ డెవలప్మెంట్ అగ్రిమెంట్స్ మీద కూడా జిఎస్టీ ఎగ్జంప్షన్ ఇవ్వాలని, తర్వాత ల్యాండ్ లార్డ్ పొజిషన్స్ కూడా ఈ జిఎస్టీ ఎగ్జంప్షన్ ఇవ్వాలా, తర్వాత లాంగ్ లీజ్ ఆఫ్ ఇది రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ అసెట్స్ ఏదైతే ఉన్నాయో దాని మీద కూడా ఎగ్జంప్షన్ ఇవ్వాలా. ఇదంతా బేసికల్గా ఏంటంటే వీఆర్ ఆల్ ఇంటూ రియల్ ఎస్టేట్, దిస్ ఇస్ నో సర్వీస్ హియర్. సో అల్టిమేట్లీ అందరు మనం ఫినిష్డ్ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఇస్తున్నాం, రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ ఇస్తున్నాం, ఎవ్రీవేర్ సేల్ డీడ్ మనం చేస్తున్నాం. సో కాబట్టి దీన్ని డెఫినెట్గా ఈ ఎగ్జంప్షన్స్ ఇవ్వస్తే మాత్రం కూడా, ఎందుకంటే జిఎస్టీ కూడా అనేది ఉంది, వన్ నేషన్ వన్ ట్యాక్స్ అన్నారు. బట్ రియల్ ఎస్టేట్కి వచ్చారు దర్ ఆర్ మెనీ ట్యాక్సెస్ ఫ్రమ్ లోకల్ బాడీ, బట్ ఆల్ ద యూడిఎస్, తర్వాత వేరియస్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ కలెక్టింగ్, అండ్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా ఈజ్ కలెక్టింగ్ జిఎస్టీ అండ్ ఆల్సో స్టేట్ ఈజ్ కలెక్టింగ్ స్టాంప్ డ్యూటీ. కాబట్టి దీన్ని డెఫినెట్గా దీన్ని కొంత రేషనలైజ్ చేసేసి కొన్ని వీటిని ఎగ్జామ్ చేయడం మాత్రం రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ మాత్రం డెఫినెట్గా ఒక సింగిల్ ట్యాక్స్ అనేది కిందకి వస్తూ ఉంది. దట్ ఈస్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఆఫ్ స్టాంప్ డ్యూటీ అండ్ ఆల్సో ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాపర్టీ ట్యాక్స్ ఆల్సో. అండ్ ఫీజు కూడా వస్తుంది దాంట్లో, స్టేట్ గవర్నమెంట్కు రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ ఫీజు కూడా వస్తుంది. సో ఇది ఓన్లీ స్టేట్ గవర్నమెంట్కు చెప్తే బాగుంటుంది. అట్లనే బిల్డింగ్ మెటీరియల్ మీద కూడా వేరియస్ ట్యాక్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి, హై లెవెల్లో ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు అఫోర్డబుల్ హౌస్కు లగ్జరీకి ఇదేమైనా డిఫరెన్షియేషన్ లేదు. సో ఇది కూడా ట్యాక్సేషన్ రేషనలైజ్ చేస్తే మాత్రం జిఎస్టీ కూడా బిల్డింగ్ మెటీరియల్ మీద కూడా ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు కమ్ డౌన్. సో ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే ఈ ఇండస్ట్రీ మొత్తం ఎవరైనా చేస్తే కూడా అల్టిమేట్లీ దే ఆర్ డెలివరింగ్ ఒక ఇమూవబుల్ ప్రాపర్టీ ఇస్తున్నారు కొనే వాళ్ళందరికీ. దాన్నే దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకోవాలి. ఇంటర్మీడియట్గా ఏది ఉన్నా కానీ వర్క్స్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ అట్లాంటివి కానీ కూడా అవన్నీ చూడకుండా, ఆర్ ది మోడ్ ఆఫ్ ఇది ఏదైతే ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ ఉందో, అల్టిమేట్ నోబడి షుడ్ డూ semi-finished agreement. Everybody should go the full-fledged sale deed, total considered sale deed చేసినప్పుడు maybe delivery may give later on, but at the time of booking also, the always registration should be on the total consideration as a completed apartment to be delivered. So that should be taken into consideration, and so that the service component or goods component will not be there. Straight away they will pay the stamp duty, so that GST can be exempted. Even state government also, states also put forth this idea to the GST council. This is always immobile property, so it should not attract GST అనేది కూడా అందరూ కూడా వ్యక్తపరుస్తున్నారు across the country. So this is one major demand from us. Thank you.
I am Dinesh. What I want is the infrastructure to be developed in the city of Hyderabad. The roads and the infrastructure should be developed.